just west of Gunnison on 50 highway. We start getting into some pretty scenery. Curving roads. There's a mountain stream down there. Of course, it's on the wrong side for me to get a good shot of it. Head south towards Lake City. On Highway 149. Excuse me. Now, Gunnison was at 7,700 feet elevation. And you can see there's not a lot of trees out in this area. There's a lot of meadows and the sides of the mountains don't have trees all over. There are some trees. Don't know why that is, but it's for quite a big area, so I can't imagine it was for lumber harvesting. I don't see a bunch of stumps out there. It's all sagebrush and whatnot. Now there's a good stretch of 149 highway headed to Lake City from Highway 50 that isn't real interesting. I mean, it's beautiful landscape, but it's sparse patches of trees on distant hilltops. But if you like curvy roads, we're getting into some curvy roads here. Now, if you live out here, more power to you. But I can't imagine living out here. Maybe close to a good-sized mountain town or something that where you can get out and enjoy mountain activities. But living out here in the middle of nowhere just doesn't have that much of an appeal to me. Of course, I'm a city boy. I suppose if you grew up out here, it's life, it's normal. But I bet you can really get snowed in out here. They didn't have a lot of snow this past season, so things are going to get dry. Colorado River's not going to be able to feed as much water into the Lake Powell and Lake Mead, which is going to put a stress on the southwest United States, because that's where they get a lot of their water from. And I did a video on I was out at Lake Powell earlier in the year. Lake Powell was like 23% of full pool. It was 170 feet down from full pool. Not only is that where southwest, same with Lake Mead over by Las Vegas, but not only is that where they get a lot of their water, that's what makes their electricity too. If those reservoirs get so low that they can't run water through the turbines, well, that's no good. Pulled over to let some cars go past. There's a little pull off here. There's a nice rock outcropping. I love the rocky scenery. Alright, so let's get going. There's a sign back there. It says this highway is a scenic byway. It's not all that scenic yet. I think hopefully we're getting into the scenic part. I'm wondering if states like Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, there's a lot of distance between places, a lot of small towns, and they're connected by highways like this. I wonder if they just put up, declared a scenic byway to get tourists to drive down them, get to the next small town to help with its economy. I hit some bumps a little while ago. Now I got something rattling in the back. Run across groups of bikers. So apparently they like this road. It's not very crowded. We're getting into the scenery. So it's probably a fun ride on a bike. always hate to kind of put the camera down when you're going down these mountain roads for fear that the next turn is the magnificent scene. But I'll risk it now. Okay, this is the Saguache and San Juan Toll Road. Connected the ranching communities of Saguache with Lake City, built by Enos Hotchkiss. This route over Cochetopa Pass allowed miners and settlers to access the mountains from the north. Construction began in May of 1874 and used the historic paths and routes used by Ute and Mexican traders over Cochetopa Pass. Between 1876 and 1885, this same route was used by the Barlow and Sanderson Stage Company with regular service. One of the main stops was named Barnum for Lewis Barnum, a section agent for the stage company. Barnum Stage Stop included a large drive-in barn, corrals, and provided overnight accommodations and food for travelers. The stage took 36 hours to travel 95 miles from Saguache to Lake City and cost $14 per person. It is the old Spanish Trail from 1829 to 1848. Annual mule pack caravans traveled the historic old Spanish Trail between Santa Fe, New Mexico and Los Angeles, California. Traders from Santa Fe headed to San Gabriel Mission as a welcome destination. They brought woolen goods from New Mexico and returned with highly prized California mules and horses. Following ancient Native American trails, the trade route continued as an emigrant trail during the Mexican period. Anglo trappers and military expeditions, including John Fremont, Kit Carson, and John Gunnison, used various routes of what is now recognized as the Old Spanish National Historic Trail. Let's see if I can get this. What seems odd is this is up in Colorado, and it's a trail from Santa Fe, New Mexico, up into Colorado, over into Utah, and then down to San Gabriel Mission in Los Angeles area. I guess just going across Arizona is just too much desert for them. Of course, back in those days, they kind of followed rivers. Okay, now here's another interesting thing. What is now recognized as one of the most notorious events in Colorado's history, cannibalism by Alferd Packer, unfolded in the valley below you. It is here that Alferd Packer and his men made a most disastrous mistake. They missed a turn in the trail and became hopelessly lost in the San Juan Mountains. On that fateful day in February 1874, Alferd Packer became lost in a severe snowstorm while guiding 5 men from Salt Lake City to the Los Pinos Indian Agency, located south of what is now Gunnison. At the time, the old Spanish Trail was a well-worn trail that continued on to Taos and Santa Fe, New Mexico. It wasn't New Mexico back then, just Taos and Santa Fe. Unfortunately, snow covered the trail in the valley below, and the hapless men continued to the south instead of remaining on the trail to the east. Cannibalism in the high country could have been averted had they remained on the correct trail towards Cochetopa Pass. Now, this isn't on the sign that I was just reading to you, but the cannibalism, Alferd Packer, well known, kind of like the Donner Party out in Nevada. But, and I'm not real sure about this, you might want to look it up. cafeteria at the University of Colorado in Denver, I believe. Might be up in Boulder, I'm not real sure. Look it up. But it is named after Alferd Packer. I don't suppose they serve human flesh there. Now I'm thinking Alferd Packer got lost here in a blizzard, ended up eating people to survive, and that's a pretty significant landmark up there. I would think he would know where he was by that. But what do I know? At one time, this was the land of the Ute. Historically, the Utes were nomadic and moved seasonally between the mountains and the valleys to hunt and gather food or to rendezvous with other Ute bands throughout what is now Colorado. With the discovery of gold in the San Juan Mountains, prospectors knowingly trespassed on Ute land. Seeing the inexorable wave of settlers, Chief Ouray negotiated the Brunot Treaty with the United States in 1873. This treaty allowed miners and settlers to occupy Ute land in the San Juan Mountains. In 1879, a confrontation between the Utes and Indian agent Nathan Meeker at the White River Indian Agency led to the death of Meeker and the taking of hostages. As a direct result of this incident, the Utes were forced to accept reservation land in southern Colorado and central Utah. With confinement to the reservations, a way of life ended for the proud Ute people. Ute land, that's where Utah, the name Utah comes from. It was almost all of what is now Colorado, southern portions of Wyoming, northern portions of New Mexico, and almost all of Utah, all the way up to Salt Lake. And the Utes called themselves people of the Shining Mountains. Now this cut through the mountains, it was here before the highway was through here. This was known as the Gate. Pretty impressive landmark for back in those days to know where you were. And this is where the old Spanish Trail went through. We're gonna go down into the Gate campground. It's Bureau of Land Management, Gunnison Field Office, and see what it looks like. We're not going to camp here. We're going to go down and see what it. It's kind of bumpy. Got people camping down here. There's the river. You camp right by the river if you wanted to. But we're not going to camp here. Looks like a pretty neat place to camp. Right now, I like to camp in town. The Cracker Barrel or Walmart parking lot, or there are truck stops. There are places that will let you park in their lots overnight. There are some places that, like Walmart, Cracker Barrel, those are kind of well known for travelers to park in their lots, but some of them aren't allowing it anymore. So you got to read the signs in the parking lot and see what their policy is. Sometimes the signs can be kind of hard to interpret. They say, you know, like the one I've stayed at the last couple of nights said no RV parking. Well, I'm not in an RV, I'm in a van. So I asked them. They said, yeah, no problem. I can understand they don't want to get their parking lots full of RV campers. But then there are some that just say, you know, no semi-trailers. So read the signs, and if there's any question, ask. River running down there in that valley. Kind of hoping I can get a shot of it. Run. Oh, hang on. There's Bigfoot. I hope I got him. See, there's the mountain stream. We're going in and out of public and private land, and they have signs posted. Say entering public land or leaving public land. All right, hang on. All right, there just happened to be a pull-off here, right at the river. Problem is, you never know where a pull-off is going to be. And if you're going, right now, I'm going through here at like 35, 40 miles an hour because of the bends in the road. And you come around the corner, and you don't know that there's a pull-off there, you don't have time to stop. Fortunately, no one was behind me, so I kind of hit the brakes a little harder than usual and pulled over. Alright, it's a beautiful river. We got a guy up there doing a little fly fishing. It's beautiful country. First part of this road towards Lake City wasn't all that impressive. But now we're into the mountains and it's beautiful. Okay, I thought maybe I could climb down these rocks to get down to the river, right at the river. But I'm not going down there because I may not get back up. So. But isn't that a nice sound? A little bit of rushing river. There's dragonflies out here. There's probably bears out here too, so I better get out of here because I smell like fresh meat. Okay, I'm going to end this portion of the video here. Because I don't know how much, we've got quite a ways farther to go up this beautiful valley. And this video is getting a little bit long and I don't know how I'm going to edit it. So, please subscribe, like, make comments, share with family and friends, hit that notify button so you know when I've posted new videos. And come back and watch more videos. Thank you.